Donald here with you on Birds 365. Ben Solak, NFL writer for The Ringer and podcast host with Yo Capadia on the Philly Special. Going to jump in with us in just about 10 minutes from now. Looking forward to talking to Ben. John, I got a technical salary cap question for you that I hope you know the answer to. I probably should, but I don't, so I'm going to lean on you. If the Eagles were to franchise tag Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the number is like 14. It's 14 and change for safeties. They have a positional breakdown. Every single position is different. Quarterback is the highest, running back is the lowest, which is kind of weird. Tells you how drastically the NFL has changed over the last 25, 30 years. Used to be your quarterback was almost as important as your running back, or your running back was almost as important as your quarterback. Now it's the top and the bottom. Safety is one of the lower positions, so it's not an outrageous number if you put the tag on them, but it's not chump change either. It's like 14 million. And we've explained before how the disadvantage is all that money is in the 1 year. There's no moving it out. There's no dummy years on the back end that you can spread out, which, oh, by the way, the Eagles paying a lot of money in dead cap hits this year because Howie has used those years previously and the bill has come due. With a franchise tag, if you offer it to a player, does the hold on your cap become immediate? Or do you have to wait until the player signs? Does it not become a cap hold until he signs? Or are you locked in with that? And then if you rescind the offer, then all of that gets freed up.
Yeah, counts right away. Bang.
As soon as you offer it, that money is off your cap and held, even if the player doesn't sign it.
Which is why the Eagles don't use it, don't like to use it. And as Jeff pointed out, 2012, I believe, was the last time Sean Jackson, he mentioned some others, LJ Smith. They rescinded a couple times. Yeah, they don't like to use it. They haven't used it at all in recent years, sort of as Howie has found his groove as a GM. Like I said, they don't want to use it. The only reason they would use it is they don't feel a deal is coming with CJ, I would think, and they're concerned that somebody else is going to offer him big money and he's going to leave. But other than that, I don't see them using it because remember, Howie's at the forefront of the voidable year trick that everybody's trying to copy around the league now. And you want to space it out. The last thing the number is 14.46, I believe, 14.46. They don't want 14.46 on their cap this year for CJ Gardner-Johnson. They want to be able to spread out. He's going to get a lot of money, but they want to be able to spread it out, have some voidable years at the end, and lower the cap number. The average annual value is kind of meaningless. The cap number for each specific year is the more important part as far as building a roster. And he's good at it. And he doesn't want to put $14.46 million on a safety on 1 year.
But he does want to keep Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And if he wants to, he's going to have to pay. He's not, we've tossed this phrase around. I probably over-tossed it around, the hometown discount, the actual signing below what is perceived to be the actual value out there amongst the league. That's one of the beauties of free agency. And I've argued with callers about this over the years who don't like free agency or their team doesn't get into free agency enough, so they got a built-in dislike for it. The absolute beauty of it is there's no debate anymore. That anytime there's a negotiation between a player and a team, there's a debate. The team thinks you're worth one thing, you think you're worth another. How do you solve it? Well, if you're looking at an extension and your number doesn't match their number, you got a problem. When you're a free agent, the market sets the number. You can go out and you can sell yourself to 29 other teams and your number becomes your number. Then you have to, if you're a player, you got to realize, okay, this is my number. Maybe I thought it was going to be higher. Maybe I thought it should have been higher. But the league has spoken this is what I'm worth. And if the team is less than that, you say, all right, see you later, bye. If you want to take less than that, yes, you've officially entered into a hometown discount. BG, the only guy on this team who's going to give them a hometown discount?
I would think, maybe Fletcher, depending on what he gets elsewhere, if there's any offers. But it's always veteran players who made their money and are comfortable in their situations. Look at CJ. He didn't give the Saints a home. That's the reason he's here. Because
Right.
they knew they didn't want to pay him. They're the ones that drafted him. They're the ones who gave him the opportunity. They saw the landscape and said, all right, let's get something for him because, you're not giving them a hometown discount. He's not giving the Eagles a hometown discount. By the way, Spotrac, his valuation is 5 years, $66.7 million. So average annual salary of $13.3 million. That's what they're not always perfect, but they're pretty good with that stuff.
And oh, by the way, just note that that's below what the franchise tag would be.
Yeah.
So if you're a player and you're going to put some emphasis on that and go, yeah, I'm about an average annual value 13 and change $1 million player. Oh, I can play for guaranteed 14 this year? Yes, please hand me that paper so I can sign off on it. I get it. Everybody wants, and that 66 for 5?
66.7. 66.7.
Right.
To be specific, 66,658,780.
Understood. Now, the key element for the player is on something like that, how much it has guaranteed.
Yeah. But when you have 5-year deals like that, you can backload it. So you give him the, he's getting more than 14 million guaranteed. It'll be, whatever, 20, 21, 22. But you can backload the contract so the big cap hits are in the 4th and 5th years. And by that time, if he plays well, you just redo the deal and extend it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And that's what Howie and Jake Rosenberg have done tremendously.
But agents are smart enough to say, we don't want any part of that unless the percentage of guaranteed money is big. You're not going to take backloaded years unless you're getting a big chunk up front. That signing bonus better be pretty damn big if you're going to get me to take back end years that I know are never going to see the light of day.
Yeah,
and either we're going to negotiate a new deal or you're going to cut my guy's rear end before.
And he's going to get a lot of guaranteed money. That's the point. But it's much more palatable from a salary cap standpoint for the Eagles because they could backload it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, you threw out a name that does scare me a little bit during this offseason. And, I'm a Howie fan. You're a Howie fan. Not everybody is. You and I both rank them.
Well, they are now. High. They are now.
Those have migrated over to our side to see that Howie's one of the best executives in the National Football League. He's got a blind spot. His blind spot is, well, he's got two, actually. One won't be as big a problem, or at least I hope not. Derek Barnett, but I don't know if that's as much a Howie thing as it is a coaching thing. The coaches really like Barnett. They were probably involved in getting him signed to a contract extension, which full well. Yours truly was against. Sorry, the guy never lived up to expect. You talk about one play, that one play in the Super Bowl. He fell on the football. That's it. That's the extent of Derek Barnett's contribution as a first-round draft pick over 5 years to the Eagles. He fell on the football during the Super Bowl. So I can't take that away, but he was a massive disappointment. No, I'm not even talking about him. Fletcher Cox. He's one of Howie's favorite players. This past offseason, they redid his contract. They paid it off, so they took the cap hit all last year. And then went and gave him a big number again, even though his stats were down 2 years ago to last year. His stats are down again last year to this year. Howie seems to want to take care of Fletcher Cox. Should there be a concern that as a free agent this year, they once again, because if you go through all the Eagles contracts, and I did this on WIP one night, and you just put pluses and minuses next to did they earn their contract against their production. The Eagles are plus. You don't know, roster. All of the guys played above and beyond what should have been normal expectations. Fletcher Cox, for me, was a minus. should Eagle fans be worried that Howie will once again, because he's as big a Fletcher Cox fan as he is, that they'll re-up him and give him too much money?
He's not getting 14 million. Kind of depends on.
Oh, you still got the PFF numbers up?
No, but I can check Fletcher.
I'd love to hear what they say his market value is going into free agency this year.
While I'm looking it up, I'll just say, remember, people used to say the same thing about Jason Peters, and it was true right up until it wasn't. Everybody's got sort of the point, the demarcation line, and I think we're at that with Fletcher. And if his market value is elsewhere, it's big. 2 years, 28, so 14 million. 2 years, 28.
You think he's worth that?
I do not.
I don't either. I don't even think he's worth close to that.
Yeah. So if that's the number, I don't think he's going to be back. I mean, if that's the number, that's just their value.
That's right.
If that's the number, no, I don't think he's going to be back.
You gave me two. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, 5 for 66, or Fletcher, 2 for 28. That's not even a conversation. One I'm signing immediately if I'm the Eagles, and the other one I'm going, no, good luck. We'll see you down the road.
Because remember, the Eagles have good young players. Well, they have to prove themselves, but they have young players they're high on in Jordan Davis and Milton Williams. So that factors into it as well.
He's John McMullen. I'm Jody McDonald. Appreciate you streaming on in on Birds 365. We've got Ben Solak. He's waiting in the on-deck circle. He's ready to join us next